Good morning, everyone. My name is Hina, and I'll begin our group presentation on the case study titled Building a New Brand Culture for Burger U. This project is part of our subject Organization Change Management. I'm presenting today along with my group members Kushbuben and Sonia. Together, we'll be discussing how Burger U transformed its organization culture and the brand identity. The case focuses on the reasons behind the decline of its earlier brand, the strategies used for repositioning, and how leadership and culture helped in achieving successful transformation. Our aim is to show how strong organization culture supports effective rebranding and long term growth. Introduction. WMB Wildman Burgers case evidence that legacy quick serve restaurants struggle to adjust to quickly shifting consumer preferences and competitiveness. The brand that was used to huge portion and affordable rate was not performing well since people were becoming health conscious and required unhealthy menus and up-to-date dining experience. The decision to rebrand the Burger U and build a boutique, playful, and a customer focused brand meant that cultural, operation, and technological changes had to be made. Taking a closer look at weakening of WMB, the strategies, repositioning process, and the IT of OD and marketing models, one would be able to make certain conclusions about the importance of leadership, staff engagement, and internal culture alignment with the external brand communication. Background. WMB started with a low volume and high cost business model targeting blue collar workers. The population changes and rise of health consciousness of urban population weakened its popularity. However, the healthier and more modern services offered by foreign competitors like McDonald's and burger stores drew away customers. Inefficiencies in operations, poor brand decay, and ineffective digital presence also did not deteriorated the situation. These problems made the Burger U group admit them that and brought a new auditor on board and started to rebrand to Burger U. The later change was aimed at in particular updating menu and the store design as well as redesigning cultural and leadership system to fit the requirement of the new consumer demands and competition. Aims and objective. QSR consumers in New Zealand started demanding healthier products, caloric labeling, and quality experience instead of low cost, high energy food in 2000s. The international chain stores like McDonald's invested in format of modern shops and orders that were put through internet as the more food conscious markets in the city were occupied by more gourmet burger restaurant. Neither of these would allow WMB to compete. The fundamental need for change is reflected in fact in 2009 to 2012, the revenue were decreasing at the rate of 12% per annum due to the increase in operational expenses. The rebranding had to be done in a manner that could enable it to competitive once again, capture new segment and relocate the organization to correct the place. Sto- uh, Stores that had been successful in working neighborhoods could not be remain a part of a high income neighborhoods that were being gentrified and required organic government products. The model of whether the shift in store design, the training the staff, and communication at Burger U introduced new values or was superficial. The living of brand strategy by brand identity alignment will be used to determine whether Burger U managed to convert staff into brand champions. The communication effectiveness aspect of cultural communication model was created and used to assess the extent was created and used to as to the extent which the values were effectively communicated, reinforced, and implemented within the stores. Next, Kushbu Ben will continue the next slides.
Yeah, hi, my name is Kushbuben Patel and my student ID is 60349. Our slides is reason for the WMB decline. WMB was on the downward slope because of a few factors. The shift of consumers' preference demanded quality conscious and healthier entries, something that the conventional WMB model was unable to offer. The force of international chains and the boutique burger shops were sources of competition presented updated options that made WMB more difficult to reach out the new segments. Gentrification renders the location of stores previously effective and the successful in working class neighborhoods less relevant, less accessible to loyal customers. Financial metrics proved the necessity of change since the annual revenue decreased by the 12% and the operating expenses grew. All of these factors combined turned rebranding into the strategic crisis that needed immediate attention to reposition the company, appeal to a new group of the customer, and stay afloat in the rapidly changing QSM market. The next one is strategic repositioning. The redesign process was meant to ensure that WMB was turned into the boutique, health conscious, and the customer focused brand. Menu innovation was healthier and the portion control. Stores redesign created a new and modern, fun atmosphere that would be attractive to young age group and families. Online marketing and interaction with clients were also added, such as the possibility of ordering online and having the international connection. This was because of the leadership transfers. After the death of founders require emphasis on the cultural integration and the provision of role model to make sure that there is fit between new brand values and the new brand. Employees training and the communication program were established. All these were geared to updating the customer experience and positioning Burger U as the differentiation player with the competitive QSR scene. The next one is a change framework. The Burger transformation involved the cultural change. The embedding mechanism proposed by Shen served to evaluate the effectiveness of stores redesign, training the staff, and the communication to teach the new brand values. The communication framework of Clampett measures the extent of good communication of the values, reinforcement, and the internalization of the values. The pilot stores also offered to create control conditions to apply and test new practice and make adjustment before full scale rollout. The employees were motivated to embrace the new playful model and the health conscious culture through the leadership role modeling, online training, workshop, and the feedback systems. Although some success was noted, it still had some hurdles because of the resistance of the workforce, part-time employee, and instability in the leadership. In framework, emphasized the need to have organized cultural intervention in the repositioning of the brand. The next slide is implementation challenge. There were numerous challenges that it experienced during implementation. The absorption of the new cultural value was hampered by resistance of a very part-time employee. The problem with role modeling and the guidance was caused by the lack of stability in leadership after the date of founder. The required change in rapid training and marketing initiatives were hampered by the financial and resources constraints among 17 stores. Moreover, the reinforcement of desired behavior was not facilitated fully due to absence integration between the organization development program and the marketing campaign. These issues show the difficulties of implementing cultural and brand change within dispersed organization, particularly the long-term role of the leader, the coherence of strategies, and the slow pace of change to enable feedback loop. The next slide discussed by
Good morning. My name is Sonia. I'm just going to present here about the organization development versus marketing role. So here we have some of the options: external branding, marketing, internal alignment, organization development, pilot approach, integrated strategy, and sustainable success. So in the external branding, we can create it creates public images, drives customer awareness, but doesn't ensure employee alignment. As much as the marketing effectively reposition Burger U to the outside world. The internalization of the brand was important in the organization development. So, in the internal alignment in organization development, they embed brand values through training, workshop, feedback, and reward system. The marketing efforts would not be sufficient to make employees behave per the new brand values. The learned behaviors were internalized and practiced by the employees through the application of organization development interventions, such as I told you before, about the training, workshop, feedback system, and rewards. The pilot approach will reduce the risk but lower the scalability with the necessity to incorporate organization development and marketing strategies. Enhancing the success of rebranding efforts in the long term is achieved through harmonizing internal cultural adoption and external brand messaging, which can result in customer satisfaction and make the process effectively. Can we just go to the next slide? Here we go with the Porter's five forces analysis. So we have threat of new entrant, suppliers power, customer power substitute, and industry rivalry. Porter five forces depicts the competition pressure of Burger U. The entry of gourmet burger restaurants augmented the risk of new entrants. The power of the supplier was medium and controlled by vertical integration and long-term contracts. The bargaining power of customers increased due to healthier food, Wi-Fi, and quality experience demanded by consumers. Substitution was threatened by the other alternative restaurants such as sushi, salad chains, and cafes. They face stiff competition with dominating multinational and local competitors that required differentiation with modernized stores, new menus, and advertising. The forces demonstrate that strategic rebranding and operational agility are needed to be competitive. Next slide, please. Here we go with the recommendation so we can ensure the stable leadership throughout the transformation. Integrate organization development, human resource, and marketing functions. We can leverage digital channels and brands and consumer or customer feedback. Gradual implementation with feedback loops. Use trainings and reward system to enhance employee engagement and continuous monitoring and evaluation of brand initiatives. Go to the next slide, please. Here we conclude our topic. So we can just get the success need cultural embedding in this system. Organizations aim to achieve stable leadership, timing, feedback, and reward, increase brand ownership, give flexibility to the client. Burger you to survive in the rapidly changing quick service restaurant industry. So the Burger you proved that the rebranding and organization is not only a temporary success. By rebranding organization aiming to achieve a change with the stable leadership team. So a stable leadership team is required to achieve the success and full robustness. The ownership and alignment of the brand value that are related to employee that can be done by trainings, workshop, and feedbacks program. Lastly, flexibility, which includes supervision and attentiveness to the changing tastes of the clients, can help Burger You to survive in the rapidly changing service restaurant industry. This teaching highlights the need to implement change that is coordinated and culturally sensitive to achieve sustainability. Next slide. So we have just end up our presentation here, and here we have some references. Thank you.